Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment. It is time for my Week 5 picks and predictions. Last week, yet another great week for me, but it made sense because heading into that week, I didn't pay too much attention to my picks, but I'm going to fix that this week. Tonight, Migos is coming to Vandy, but before they do, before I get lit, I got to get these picks out here, and I got to do a better job. I have to reclaim glory, and we will do that this week. Let's start with the Thursday night football game as we have the New England Patriots at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, for the past 3 or 4 weeks, I've been saying let's hold off on making too many conclusions out of the 2017 NFL season, but after Week 5 or during Week 5 and beyond, it's time to start making some conclusions. So what we currently know about the Patriots is right now they're not playing very well. Perhaps they will be in November, December, January. Right now they're not. They lost to the Carolina Panthers in New England last week, and although they're very good, we look at the team, they're very good. Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, Rob Gronkowski, their defense is total ass. They're going to Tampa Bay, who has been really good at home this season, although I picked the Patriots to win the Super Bowl this year. Everything that we have seen this season is screaming that the Bucs are going to win this game. They're going to put a bunch of points on the New England Patriots, too many points, and Tom Brady will give up a hell of an effort but won't be able to go all the way because, again, we saw the Patriots almost lose at home to the Houston Texans. They lost at home to the Chiefs and the Panthers. Can they go on the road and beat the Bucs at home in Tampa Bay when the Bucs have been playing well in Tampa Bay? What we've seen this season doesn't suggest that, so I can't go counter to that. I have to pick the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to upset the New England Patriots on Thursday Night Football. We move on to the next game. Buffalo Bills at the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, I'm going to be a bit of a hypocrite because everything we've seen this season indicates that the Bills will win this game, but although the Bills upset last week, it's really tough to see teams have 2 really good back-to-back road wins, and this one may not be a really good back-to-back road win. I mean, the Bengals aren't very good, but still it's very tough, and it's very rare. Only the best of the best in the NFL can go back-to-back on the road and win both games. It's really hard, and we saw last week the Bengals got some of their juice back, although they were facing the Cleveland Browns. I understand that. Again, as I've been talking about for the Bengals for a couple weeks now, they're not that bad, okay? They almost beat the Packers. They handily beat the Browns last week. After they fired their offense coordinator, they've been playing much better. I have to pick the Bengals at home here, even though everything that we've seen this season is screaming that the Bills are going to win this game. Vegas still has the Bengals as a 3-point favorite here. I think Vegas knows what they're talking about. They have the same suspicion that I do. So I'm going to be a bit of a hypocrite here and pick the Bengals to be the Buffalo Bills in Cincinnati, but it will not shock me at all if I'm wrong on the Buffalo Bills yet again, who continue to prove me wrong this season. I can't do it this week. We move on to the next game, New York Jets at the Cleveland Browns, and again, everything we've seen this season has indicated that the Cleveland Browns are the worst team in the league, that they're awful and they're horrible, and the best thing to do for people like me, for people who pick games, is to pick the worst teams in the league to lose every game, because worst case scenario, you'll be 14-2 or 13-3, maybe even 15-1, maybe 16-0, picking them because you would have picked them to lose every game and they would have lost almost every game. So that's the strategy I have to put on for the Cleveland Browns. That's the strategy I have to implement for the Cleveland Browns. Picking them to win anything is just way too dangerous. Whereas the New York Jets have won 2 games. They're 2-2. They've shown an ability to beat bad teams. The Cleveland Browns are a bad team. And although this game is not in New York, and that is where New York has been winning, I like much more what I'm seeing from the Jets than the Browns, who went to Cincinnati last week and got their asses kicked, right? The Browns stink. So I have to pick the Jets to go to Cleveland and get it done. I have the Jets winning this game, winning their 3rd game of the season right here. Incredible. No one saw this heading into the 2017 NFL season. Not even Jets fans. I don't care what they say. We move on to the next game. Carolina Panthers at the Detroit Lions. And the Panthers, okay, they got a hell of a win last week week, but let's not overreact too much. The Lions are playing really well on their own. This game is in Detroit, and I like Detroit. In Detroit, Matthew Stafford tends to win in Ford Field. If it's still called Ford Field, it should be. Damn it, he usually wins there, and the Lions appear to be playing pretty well right now. I'm going to stick with that trend and pick the Lions to beat the Carolina Panthers in this game. Next, we have the San Francisco 49ers at the Indianapolis Colts. And here's the thing with the Colts. Okay, so they're 1-3. But it's a pretty bad 1-3. I mean, they got their ass kicked last week in Seattle. Although the first game was kind of close, or although that game was close for a little bit, they ended up getting their ass kicked. They got their ass kicked week 1 against the Rams. They beat the Browns, and they barely lost to the Cardinals. Whereas you have the other team, the 49ers, that have lost 3 consecutive close games, all by 3 points. 1 by 3, 1 by 2, 1 by 3. Although, again, I always say I don't really care about losing close in one individual game. If you lose 3 straight close games, now you're telling me something. So I think the win is coming for the 49ers. And by the way, last week I picked the 49ers, but I backtracked. I pulled that pick out right before the game. This time I'm going to stick with it. I think the 49ers are due for a win. They're not that bad. They're pretty bad. I mean, they're one of the worst teams in the league, but they're not 1-15 bad. They may be 2-14 bad, but I think they're more 3-4 win bad than 0 or 1 win bad. The Colts are pretty bad. Okay, I think they're pretty bad without Andrew Luck right now. So give me the 49ers to go on the road and beat the Colts in Indianapolis. I don't love this, but I wouldn't love picking the Colts either. What are you gonna do? Next game. Tennessee Titans at the Miami Dolphins. So I started hot with the Tennessee Titans this year. I was 2-0 picking Titans games. Now I'm 2-2 as I've been wrong for the past 2 weeks. Look, this game is completely dependent on Marcus Mariota. Okay, so put an asterisk next to this game. If Mariota plays, give me the Titans. If he doesn't, give me the Dolphins, man. I know Matt Castle beat the Houston Texans week 17 last year. Texans didn't care at that point, okay? That concerns me. Whenever we've seen Matt Castle in the game, playing games, he tends to lose. Even when he was behind the Dallas Cowboys offensive line in whatever season that was, 2015, was it 2016, whatever year it was, 2015, okay? So we can't trust Matt Castle. He doesn't win games in this league anymore. Concerns the hell out of me. And although the Miami Dolphins have been stinking lately, putting up 0 last week against the Saints, putting up 6 against the New York Jets. Against our defense, I think Jay Ajayi, I think Devontae Parker, and Jarvis Landry would eat. And we're going to need Marcus Mariota to be healthy enough for this game to play, then I like our chances. Without him, I don't love our chances. And even if we lose this game, by the way, I still have us making the playoffs, but I'd have to ding us down a win. I can't say 11-5 being 2-3. Although that would still be possible, I'd have to project 10-6 at that point, but I'd still be confident in that 10-6. So this game is completely dependent on Marcus Mariota. If he plays, give me the Titans. If not, give me the Dolphins. Next game, LA Chargers at the New York Giants. And who the hell is going to win this game? I mean, both these teams are a bunch of losers right now, but give me the Giants because I'm more inclined to believe that the Giants are going to win some games this season, while the Chargers, I think they just stink. They have no home field advantage. It's horrible. It's awful. The team morale is down. Phillip Rivers is pissed off. He's almost always pissed off, but he's more pissed off than usual. Okay, he's making the 4-hour trip from San Diego to LA every damn practice, every damn morning. It's ridiculous what's going on in California with these men. But the Giants, they should win this game. I mean, come on. They've been a little closer lately, and they're at home. Just get it done at home. Get it done at home, New York. Hopefully they do. I have the Giants winning this game, but both these teams are just so good at losing. Who knows who's going to win this game between the battle of the 0-4 teams. Battle of the bastards. We move on to the next game. Arizona Cardinals at the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, Eagles, you got to pick the Eagles here, man. I know they've had some troubles beating the Cardinals in recent history, but I don't think the Cardinals are very good. I don't think they're very good at all. I know they're 2-2, but they beat the 49ers and they beat the Colts. Who the hell cares? Not me, okay? I don't think the Cardinals are very good this year without David Johnson. Chris Johnson's come back. He looks done, absolutely done. Carson Palmer is looking okay, but not good enough. You got the Eagles playing well. Perhaps they underwhelm, kind of like how they underwhelmed last week a bit, but they should get it done. Give me the Eagles to go 4-1 to start this season. Hopefully they keep it up. as opposed to last season. Move on to the next game, Jacksonville Jaguars at the Pittsburgh Steelers. You got to pick the Steelers, man. Steelers at home, got to pick. Okay, and they showed last week, hey, they bounced back. They beat the Baltimore Ravens. This is a true Super Bowl contender in Pittsburgh. Now, I wish they didn't have some locker room problems. Okay, Big Ben Roethlisberger keeps calling out this guy and that guy, Antonio Brown, Mike Tomlin. There are issues in this locker room, but it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're at home. The Jaguars, you can't trust them to do anything, although every other week they've been winning games, right? They won week 1, they won week 3. That evidence, that trend suggests they'll win week 5. But Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh is too good. I got to pick Pittsburgh not only to win this game, but to cover the 8.5-point spread. Next game, we have the Seattle Seahawks at the LA Rams. And again, everything we have seen this season is screaming that the LA Rams are going to win this game in LA. Moreover, we've seen the Rams beat the Seahawks in LA or St. Louis when the Rams have had worse teams than this, okay? When the Rams were 7-9 every year with Jeff Fisher, even last year 4-12, they still beat Seattle in their home stadium. So this one is screaming Rams, although I still believe that the Seahawks will ultimately win this division, and I'm sticking with that. I think ultimately the Seahawks will win this division. I think the start will be 4-1 for the LA Rams, and the start will be 2-3 for the Seattle Seahawks. But time will, way more towards the better team over time. But right now, again, this game is in LA. I like Seattle in LA. No, I like LA in LA. Give me LA. Next game, we have the Baltimore Ravens at the Oakland Raiders. And look, I love to pick the Raiders, man, but without Derek Carr, y'all are nothing, man. We've seen that. Y'all stink without Derek Carr. And I know you were somewhat close to winning last week. EJ Manuel was only 40 yards away. No way were you going to win that game. We saw the playoff game last year against the Houston Texans. You had no shot. We saw the Denver Broncos game week 17 last year. You had no shot. Without Derek Carr, this Raiders team can't move. They're not good. They've lost their leader. You can't pick them. The Ravens have shown an ability to shut people down, and EJ Manuel will now be the next one that they absolutely shut down. You got to give me the Ravens, although I still don't believe they're a damn playoff team. You got to give me the Ravens to win this matchup, even in Oakland, as the Ravens defense will shut down EJ Manuel to me. We move on to the next game, Green Bay Packers at the Dallas Cowboys. This was a bit tough. As the Cowboys defense currently has some injuries. Anthony Brown banged up, Sean Lee banged up, Anthony Hitchens banged up. But it is in Dallas, and this is coming off of an L for Dallas, okay? Whereas Green Bay is coming off of a win. They've had 10 days off, which I don't love. But I feel like Dallas should get revenge here. I feel like Ezekiel Elliott will eat in this game. Dak Prescott will eat in this game, and they'll get the victory in Dallas. They'll get their playoff revenge game. And I could be easily wrong on this because the Packers, again, they're quite good. I mean, everyone keeps telling me they're overrated. They're 3-1. They're on pace to be 12-4. They're quite good. They're quite good. It wouldn't shock me if they won this game at all. If they do, then they may be really good. But you got to give me the Dallas Cowboys to win this game at home. I don't see them starting 2-3. It's definitely possible, but I don't see it. Okay, next game we have the Kansas City Chiefs at the Houston Texans. So Texans, okay, I think they've saved their season for now. Okay, they whipped my Tennessee Titans ass last week. Now, here's the thing. The Chiefs are playing well. They're the best team in the league right now, okay, record-wise at least. And in terms of form, right, they're in the best form of the league, right? They're playing with the best momentum right now. They look really unstoppable right now. I don't think this is going to be true in November, December. I think they're due for a bit of a fall, for a bit of a cool down. And that cool down may only result in them being 13-3, but it's a cool down from starting 4-0. So look out for that. But for now, they're playing great. And to me, you have to stick with these trends until they break. I think it's better to stick with those trends instead of trying to break them or predicting them to break. So I'm gonna continue the trend here, believing that the Chiefs are gonna win this game as they've been winning games lately. This game is in Houston, but the Chiefs have shown an ability to go Houston and to win. Okay, we've seen a couple of these matchups in the past couple of years now, so I like the Chiefs to go to Houston and get it done against the Houston Texans. And the final game, the last game, Minnesota Vikings at the Chicago Bears, the debut of Mitchell Trubisky. And let me say this, a W for Mitchell Trubisky, because finally the Bears have moved on from Mike Awful Glennon, who's so awful, who's so terrible, he gives you no chance pretty much to win every week. I expect Mr. Trubisky to get this done because although I still believe, despite the injury to Dalvin Cook, the Vikings will ultimately be a better team than the Bears, I think it's only going to be about 1 or 2 win difference there. So you're telling me you're going to give me a divisional game, the home team is only 1 or 2, only 1 or 2 win worse than the other team? I like that kind of scenario. Give me the Bears to win this game because, again, without Dalvin Cook and maybe without Sam Bradford as well, this Vikings offense is going to have trouble moving the football. Although the Bears offense ain't great either. They have a couple running backs, okay? And the Vikings right now, they don't have much other than Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen, who are pretty good. But you need a good quarterback to throw to them. Give me the Bears to win in Chicago. And remember, this game was last year, right? It was Halloween, I believe, Monday Night Football. They had Jay Cutler, the Bears did, and they won this game against the Minnesota Vikings. I expect a similar result here. So we move on to my guarantees of the week. Wasn't a great week for my guarantees last week. I was 2-3, but that was my first negative guarantee week. So still, you're making money if you're betting with me. Let's go with these. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers minus 8.5. Again, I love the Steelers covering at home. They love to cover at home. The Jaguars, again, are a threat to show up every other week. But the Steelers should get it done at home and cover the spread because that's kind of their move this season and of seasons past. Next one. Detroit Lions minus 2.5. Man, I really think the Lions are going to win this game outright. This is something that I truly feel again is in Detroit. The Panthers, they got a huge road win last week. Are they to go back-to-back, win 2 back-to-back road games? Again, only the very, very best teams in the NFL do that kind of thing. I don't see that. Remember, they just lost to the Saints at home. The Panthers did, right? They're going to go on the road and beat the Lions. I don't see that. Give me the Detroit Lions to win this game. Next game, we have the Panthers at the Lions. Okay, so we're sticking with this game, but give me the under. The under 43.5. The Lions defense is playing really well this season, as is the Panthers defense for the most part. They've struggled the past 2 weeks, but they've been playing well. This should be a lower scoring matchup in which the Lions, again, I believe will win, but definitely under the 43.5 combined point total that Vegas has put out. How about the LA Rams minus 1? Again, hello, the Rams beat the Seahawks in LA, in St. Louis. That's their move, and this is the best LA/St. Louis team we've seen in years. You gotta give me the Rams to beat the Seahawks again. Minus 1. I'll take that spread all day. And give me this. How about the Ravens plus 2.5? I think they should be the favorite against the Oakland Raiders. Why? Because we've seen it time and time again, and we're gonna see it time and time again. The Oakland Raiders are ass without Derek Carr, people. They're awful. They're terrible. I mean, we sat through that awful playoff game against Houston Texans, and I know the Texas defense is good, but damn it, it was awful. Okay, so we're gonna see a similar result because the Ravens defense is good. Okay, so give me the Ravens plus 2.5. I think they win this game outright. Hell, take it on the money line. Those are my guarantees of the week, and those are my NFL Week 5 picks and predictions. What are yours? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. I'm gonna go enjoy Migos, and until next time, I'm out. See you all later.